Hello, Soul Family. I am Shannon Pardini, and I'm with Quantum Heart Conversations. And today I have a very special guest, Mark Romero, that you're going to be so thrilled to tap into frequency like no other. Mark's here to share his story, and he has a YouTube channel too, where you guys will be able to take yourselves to do all kinds of magical frequency work. I know my audience loves that. So, Mark, I'm so happy to have you here and appreciate you.
Oh, well, thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited. I was like, oh, yes, I get to talk to Shannon today. So I'm jazzed up and ready to go for sure. Thank you again.
Perfect. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump into your bio, and then we'll move into the intelligence of your mastery. So here we go. So, Mark Romero is a globally celebrated sound and energy healer whose transformative work focuses on the profound power of healing through sound frequencies. Recognized as a leading figure in his field, Mark's journey began when a former top consultant to NASA unearthed the healing potential embedded within his music. From this revelation and groundbreaking sound healing technology emerged, touching the lives of countless individuals seeking to restore their well being. Through his work, Mark has empowered thousands to embark on a journey of healing, revitalizing your health, transcending limited beliefs, and expanding awareness. Mark's mission is to guide others towards embracing a greater expression of themselves, facilitating profound transformation that resonates on both physical and spiritual levels. Well, that's language I can definitely, get into. I appreciate you and everything you're doing. And yeah, Mark, I'm just curious, can we start? What was the awakening? Obviously it was someone that found you, but when was the real awakening for these magical frequencies within music?
There was little inklings along the way, even before I started playing music. I grew up in a very, you know, I guess I was raised Lutheran, so I got into fundamentalist Christianity and stuff. So there was a part of me that always had an inquiry about spirituality. And I think one of the defining moments was I was on the balcony with my best friend. We're looking up through the telescope one night at the stars. And it just came to me. I said, you know what? I think we're like in the body of God. We're like these stars and everything and planets are like cells vibrating within the field of energy. And his dad was there and he looked at me and then he said something that just totally rang a, well, he said, well, God would never have anything evil in its body. And I remember giving him the young, 12-year-old look on my face going, that is like the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And I'm like, and it was then that I realized that there was something more to life that, than what we're being taught in school, than what we're being showed through the media and different things. And so it was something that always kind of interweaved. Sound didn't really become part of that until a little bit later. I was going through the tough time in high school. I had learned life can be painful. I'm going to hide by myself behind the wall, and that way I don't have to be exposed. That way I don't have to worry about being judged or not good enough or whatever. And kind of my theme song was from Pink Floyd, The Wall. And so that was my inspiration to play music. I didn't realize there was a healing component of my music, but yet through my whole corporate life and through my whole ascension up the corporate ladder, so to speak, music was a profound piece in my everyday life. I'd come home, I would play. I had a roommate that played bass. It would help me to relax. It would help me to just calm down. It would help me to get in touch with my feelings and my emotions and have insights about life and my own healing that I needed to go through in order to kind of continue to move through. But like I said, it was completely, I was unaware of any kind of healing component in my music. People would come up to me after playing, at a gig or something. Gosh, I came in, I was all stressed out, and you've been playing, I'm completely shifted and transformed. I'm just thinking, well, it's pretty music, it helped them to relax. I didn't put two and two together and kind of worked my way through until ultimately it was brought to my attention, which really kind of like put everything into hyperspace mode, my own growth and my own evolution in stepping into that gift.
I love that. You're actually just transporting me there because, again, with dabbling in music myself, do you feel when you're in the creation of music, or is your body vibrationally just a clear, clean channel when you're going into those spaces? Or what does the process feel like when you are engaged and tapped in with playing the music itself?
You know, there's this whole languaging we hear about, meditating and dropping into the space. And traditional meditation was always kind of challenging for me. It's like, how can I quiet down this mind that's always like thinking all this cool stuff and coming up with all these ideas? But when I play, it's like I can drop into that space and it's like I don't have all these thoughts. I don't have all these things. I'll get images, I'll get different things that I've tapped into over the years in developing the sound healing technology. But it gives me the ability to go into a meditative space like nothing else. I'm like completely just, I don't know, I guess you could call it bliss. I guess you could call it just like connectedness. I feel at peace. And I can't say that I actually feel my body humming, but I do know that when I do processes and I know that I go out in the field with the people I'm working with, I'm like, whoa, I went places on that one. I'm like in a whole nother part of the universe, however you want to define it. And I come back and I'm done with the piece. I'm like, oh, wow. So, I every day I attune myself. I play and I create a little healing process for myself to support me through the day and to center me and to help me to move forward. So it's definitely a profound part of my life, but I definitely go places that I don't go anywhere like any other time other than when I'm playing and creating and channeling music.
Beautiful. I love hearing the mastery, the gifts within. And were you supported in your youth and teens to with playing music, or was it something that you just naturally really wanted to master?
Well, I think from a very young age, I grew up in a musical house. Nobody played instruments. I was the only musician in the family. But we grew up with music, whether it was like the Man of La Mancha, show tunes. My mom loved Neil Diamond and Engelbert Humperdinck, and all these people are like going, "Who are those people? Go, go YouTube them. There's some great music there, And I knew from a very young age, on some level, that I wanted to help people through the sound of music. I love the sound of music. I tried playing clarinet when I was younger and it just didn't resonate with me. But ultimately, when I went to go see Pink Floyd in concert, I was inspired. I needed to learn how to play the guitar. And I came home like any good high school kid. Dad, you got to give me a guitar. Dad, you got to give me a guitar. He got me a guitar just so that I probably would stop bugging him. And I picked that thing up and it was love at first drum. So there was always this support. There was always this love of the music and the arts and mariachi music and all these different types of tunes throughout my whole experience. And I think it really helped to cultivate this love of music, which I didn't really realize until later, until I was a teenager, until I was inspired by, my favorite rock band at the time, and ultimately opened the door to learning how to play this magical instrument. And from there, it just took off on its own.
Beautiful. Yeah, it's almost like you became the notes itself in pure consciousness. I love that. And Pink Floyd, yeah, there was something that spoke so much with that language of music where a lot of us really dimensionally got transported, but also just, I think for a lot of musicians, they were like, yeah, I want to pick up an instrument and see what this truly is. What do you think the vibration is? Out of curiosity with Pink Floyd, did you feel a lot of sovereignty and freedom, or what was going through you frequency wise when you were just really feeling inspired by the wall?
Well, I think there was a couple things. That band was ahead of their time. They were doing stuff that nobody had thought of. And, as far as recording wise and technology wise with, with synths and everything, even really, we're going back to the analog synth days. We're going back in time, and you look at time, you think of Dark Side of the Moon and how that album was produced and mastered. And it was just like, whoa, it was so far ahead. But I think it also brought in an energy for me of challenging the status quo, looking at the models or the paradigms that were running the world, whether it be education, which I had a tremendous challenge with at a young age, or the medical institutions or even the religious institutions. It came with that energy to look at those things and ask the question, is this right? Is this true? But I think also the wall was kind of like my theme song because I made a decision at that point in time. You know what? I'm going to live behind my wall and protect myself, because life could be hard. I was this chubby kid growing up. I was horrible at sports. I wanted to be a stud, but I ended up being more of a pud. It's like no matter what. And I felt so out of place and challenged in that space. So for me, it was like an opportunity to create a space where I could reflect, where I could connect in, where I could learn, where I could grow, where I could create and not have to worry about judgment, not have to worry about not being good enough, not have to worry about, somebody sharing some negative opinion or something. So it was a dynamic for a number of years. Certainly probably wasn't the healthiest dynamic. And I learned later, ultimately, that wall needed to come down in order to shine and reflect and to share. But yet it provided kind of like a cocoon space for me to heal from my past experiences and for me to evolve. And from there, prepare that time when I could emerge from that space. And I think there was really a tremendous amount of that energy in that music from that band at that particular point in time.
I love that. And also creating that hero's mastery journey for yourself of really, through this evolution, through your youth and tapping into this inspired frequencies and moving forward. Through frequency, you were able to start reading limited frequency, discordant frequencies, and turn that all around at a certain point with vibrationally coming in tune. And that's really powerful, that I truly believe, there's that point in time where enough's enough. And you know that you're a master, but it's like I fully got to get vibrationally into this. What was the point for you when it was like enough's enough? I'm going to go in and fully hone this. And the outcome is going to be profound because I know that frequency is healing.
Mm. There is definitely an event, and it's interesting because, I'm a recovered CEO. I was 19 years in the high tech arena, left brain guy, suits, the whole shot, Mr. Spock's picture up on the office wall because logic was the pathway to mastery, so to speak. And I had an expanded awareness, but there was definitely a line that I didn't like to cross. And that line was being a healer. So my wife was 8 months pregnant with our first daughter. 8 months, things are cramped. 7 o'clock every night, Olivia's in mom's tummy doing her calisthenic routine. Mom is on the bed complaining she's not going to make it another 4 weeks to deliver this baby. So she goes to me, honey, just put your hand on my tummy. And so I did the first night. It was instant peace and quiet. Second night, same time, instant peace and quiet. Third night, same thing. After about 4 nights, she looks at me and she goes, you know, you're a healer, don't you? And I said, you know what? Don't even talk to me about that healing stuff, man. That's the kind of stuff they take you out in the backyard. They tie you to a tree and they set you on fire, man. I don't want nothing to do with that. And then, of course, being married to a doctor of metaphysics, what does she say? I think you might have some past life issues to resolve. resolve. If you ever want to make a corporate guy run down the hallway with his fingers in his ears going, la, 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 I can't hear you, you tell him he's got past life issues to resolve. So there was this aversion to stepping into the healing domain. And one thing I learned that night running down the hallway is no matter how fast you run, you still take yourself with you. So here, sometime from that event, I released my first album, literally had to get forced into making it. And that album ends up getting in the hands of a former consultant and energy healer, a guy from NASA, very talented energy healer himself. And oh, guess what? Your music's healing. And I wasn't happy about that. And so I'm like, damn, what is this? Like a reoccurring nightmare thing? Like, come on. I don't want to be woo woo. That was kind of my initial response. And I remember after this discovery, I was coming out of a movie theater or something. I said, you know what? I don't want nothing to do with this healing energy. I just assume turn it off. And literally within a minute, my phone rings and it's Dr. Jones. And he goes, what's going on? I said, well, what do you mean? I just detected a fluctuation in your field. I'm like, what the? Now I'm freaking out, man. And he goes, you need to come see me in the office. So I come sit down with him and he said, Mark, we have two choices in life. Either one, you step into your gift and bring it forward for the betterment of humanity, or two, you live a life of denial and misery, not being true to the calling that's within your heart and soul. And I said, you know what, Doc, I like option three. He said, what's that? I go, none of the above. He said, sorry, wrong planet. There's your choice. I'm like, okay, I'll make the choice. I'm going to bring this forward. And I probably had to have experiences after that that continually kind of forced me to make that decision. But there was definitely a reluctance on my part to step into that gift.
Beautiful. I fully understand that, and I absolutely adore that story. And, there's all these little treasures that come about on the walkabout of this journey and the timelines. And to have, what was the doctor's name again?
Dr. Ronald Jones.
Ronald Jones so synced in to that innate timeline of you really just transporting and moving into the clearest sense of your soul is absolutely amazing. And I understand, even like myself being a healer, there was a lot that came with a lot of pressure with it where I'm like, I don't want to do this. Why do I keep getting thrown into all these leadership roles and the woo woo? Even though I understood it so well. But, you know, the one thing, like hearing you state that, I think it was that limited belief of the persecution, right? That
Mhm.
past lifetime. I can even feel like the chills when I say it of, those old lifetimes of being persecuted for our gifts, right? But
Right.
once you surpass that limited belief and frequency and hold the space where we're holding now, it's just such an incredible transition. And so I love how you shared that way. So I could, really follow the limitation. And then at the same time, just I love the characters that come into our life, the people, places, and things, the actors that evolve us so much, who play the mirror. And so, yeah, I love that. So with this gift that you have, when did you finally move yourself into the vibrational alignment and decide I'm going to start working with others? I have this capacity to heal and it is real.
I would love to say that that conversation with Doc convinced me to bring my gift forward with heart, passion, and, momentum, but it didn't.
Right.
Yeah, I said yeah, but I still struggled. And I struggled and I tried to do other things, you know. I was doing like speaking in golf events, I was trying to express myself in other ways than through the music gift. And as a result, so I left my corporate life because I couldn't do it anymore. There's just no way. I came home one night. There's my wife, Dr. Lara, in the hallway. She just said to me, she, I don't give a damn how much money you're making. I look in your eyes and you're dead. When are you going to have the courage to go for the dream? And she was right. Again, I see a trend, definitely not in my favor from all those years ago. But, it's like, and she was right. So I decided to leave to do what I thought was going to be motivational speaking. And then the energy healing connection made its appearance, but I still fought it and I still resisted it. And as a result, life is like said, Mark, you are not going to be able to succeed at anything contrary to what your purpose is. You're going to struggle financially. You're going to lose everything you have. You're going to get worked. And I did. I got caught up in the 2008, '07 debacle, just got hammered. And the thing that really shifted it was the day I got the letter from the bank saying, if you don't pay your home payment up to date, we're going to put you in foreclosure. And my wife literally fell to the floor in tears. And being a father with two children just hit the low of lows. And I'm like, ah, and it just came to me in a meditation. You want to change it? Accept your gift and commit yourself to bringing it forward. And so I decided to. And it is amazing how things shift when you flip that switch. So I did a post on, I don't know, Twitter or something. Oh, I just got done doing a sound healing thing for a group of um, women bankers. It was a professional banker association for women. And a host of a large telesummit at that time, Jennifer McLean from Healing with the Masters, sees my post and she sends me a direct message. What the hell? You just did sound healing for the most left brain group of women in the universe. I need to meet with you. So we live close to each other. We sit down, we have lunch. She goes, you know what? I'm going to get you on my show. My season's full, but next season I'm going to have you in. Okay. I never heard of a telesummit. I knew it was about consciousness and awareness and Wayne Dyer and, Neil Donald Walsh and people like that. And then I get a call a couple of days later. John Gray canceled his spot. You want to take it? And I'm like, okay. I mean, I didn't know what do you got? I said, I got these 4 CDs and some MP3 downloads. She goes, we're packaging it up. We're going to sell for $97 and let's see what happens. She goes, how many units do you have in stock? Back then this is all CDs. I say, maybe I have like 150. And she goes, oh, that's more. Nobody knows who you are. You'll be fine. We do this interview, have a great time. I played on the call, everything. It was a really cool call. I'm looking at my email on my phone going, what the heck? All these emails coming in for orders. And I wake up in the morning and not just five, not just four, like 100 orders pop in. I'm like, oh my God. By the end of the weekend, she calls me up. What the heck, Romero? You just outsold everybody in the whole show. You have 1,000 units you need to ship. I'm like, okay. And it was out of that decision, out of the lowest point in life, that the miraculous happened. And here, you do a commission split with affiliate hosts back then or tell someone host back then. And I called up the mortgage company and how much will it cost me to stay in? This much. Okay, here's your check. And from there, it was like, okay, this is what happens. You step in, you open up to abundance. You step in, you move forward. And from there. And so that was the huge shifting moment in really making the commitment. Okay, you know what? I'm going to bring forward this gift and I'm going to help as many people as I can to tune and harmonize their energetic field, let go of what's no longer serving them, rise above the vibrational barriers in our environment that impact us on so many levels, and really continue to commit myself to crafting and downloading and honoring all that was arising within me around this technology and around the music.
Oh, that's incredible. What a journey, and what a journey of really becoming vibrationally attuned to your innate genius, right? When you say yes, it's amazing how fast our trajectory can quantum leap when we vibrationally align. And that story is just, it's profound. And, each and every one of us has this capability and this nagging right at us. And I love how you shared because So many of us, especially people that are probably listening to this podcast, a lot of way showers, healers, and so forth, we go through that dark night of soul, and sometimes not once, multiple times through the journey itself. But it's so funny when we're not vibrationally aligned, how dead we feel in frequency in the physical body, and then carrying all that limitation of not worthy, not good enough, fear of the unknown, what's next, not going to do it, resistance, how it totally cuts the lifeline energetically. And so things just fall apart, whether it be our house, bankruptcy, and so forth, right? And so it's just, again, I just find these physical bodies in the intelligence of the human, pretty amazing. And, listening to the way that you've weaved through the matrix itself and stayed in resistance for a certain amount of time, but there was that deep knowing. And it's like you've always known, that resonance, which is like, okay, kick it on, Mark, kick it on. So
Yep.
again, it's just so cool how we all, really when we're stepping in, get to bypass that time of dark night of soul, because dark night of soul really feels like rock bottom,
Mhm.
right? It is that emptiest space where you don't even feel like you're in the physical body itself. But
Right.
I'm amazed at what can happen to pull oneself back into vibrationally attuning, right? And just like an instrument that's totally, out of sync. And then when you pull it back in, you can feel the abundance, you can feel the radiant health, you can feel the energetic field flowing. So
Absolutely.
again, yeah, no, I absolutely love that story. And so now, like, where can people find you, and what type of sessions could they look forward to, or teachings and so forth? What are you doing these days?
Well, I think out of the initial discovery, it was about so these scientists were looking at the effects of 80,000 man made chemicals in our air, food, and water, all of the waves being produced by our technology that were disrupting our beautiful field of energy. And in essence, I like you what you said, put the instrument out of tune and put us into a disharmonious state, and how they were correlating that with this huge increase in neurological disorders and cancers and different things. So they were looking for things that could null and void those negative effects. So that's where the music came in. The music actually gives the ability to tune and harmonize your field regardless of what you're being exposed to in the environment. And as a result, really opened the door to playing more beautiful music. It's like I could be the most efficient, masterful guitar player in the world, but if my strings aren't in tune, am I going to make beautiful music? No, I'm not. No matter how well I play, no matter how hard I play, no matter how fluidly I play, or whatever you want to define it, if that instrument is not in tune, you're never going to play beautiful music or reach your full potential of what you can create. So the question arises, what puts the instrument out of tune? Well, yes, it's the things in our environment, but one day I had an opportunity to sit down with Doc, and he asked me a question that changed the whole course of my work. And he said, Mark, what's the most potent energy disruptor in the universe? And I'm thinking, oh, okay, Doc came from NASA. It's got to be something like gamma rays or radiation or something space like. But his answer blew me away. He said, no, he goes, the most potent energy disruptor in the whole universe are our own limiting thoughts, beliefs, and perceptions. All the stories of not good enough, I don't deserve, I'm anything but holy, money is the root of all evil. All the things that we have programmed within ourselves that limit our expression, that limit how we shape and shift our lives, and in essence, put the instrument out of tune. So when you ask the question, what's come forward is, well, basically, I create music that helps to harmonize and tune the environment. I create musical processes that help to release and dissipate limiting thoughts, beliefs, and perceptions that aren't in alignment with the truth of who and what we are. And because when you exhale and release something, it provides the opportunity to breathe in something new, something of higher vibration. So I also produce healing music that has a very high frequency, like that of self love or compassion or peace. and together creates this shift where you can begin to eliminate that old programming that we all hold to one degree or another within ourselves that creates disharmonious experiences, whether in our health or in the different facets of our lives, or as I call the six strings of human expression. So then I do healing session work. And over the years, I've developed this capacity and ability to listen to somebody and hear their energy, where it's out of alignment, where it's contrary to what it is on a conscious level. Somebody says they want to create, but yet at a deep level, they don't believe they're worthy of having the goodness in life. So I would channel out pieces of music to help shift that. And that's what I do that in my healing process work. And then I have an online course. It's called Heal Your Life at the Speed of Sound, which is really an opportunity for people to dive into six of the most powerful frequency activations over the last 18 years in doing this that help people to heal, that help people to let go of what's no longer serving them and tune their strings and restore harmony within themselves. And then finally, one of those areas where I've been a little bit reluctant is to teach people how to activate the frequency of their own heart space and to be able to tune and harmonize their own living environments and space, their own field, their own body, work with people, that they want, loved ones or clients or whatever, and to help them in this process of tuning the strings, restoring harmony, and therefore also teaching how to actually play the instrument and create and manifest. And ultimately, as we've spoken about before, realizing that life is an inside out job and that your music, your sound, your resonance that you emit communicates to this field, which mirrors back accordingly to your broadcast. You want to change your broadcast, change what you're experiencing in your life, you have to change your energetic field and your vibration. So I use music and healing processes to help people to do that and truly step into becoming the composers of their lives, but also to become powerful catalysts for transformation and change on the planet. Because I think if all of us are true to our soul's song, our soul's music, that creates the field for transformation. That creates the field for the upliftment of people around us, the uplifting of humanity, which is something I think we all desire to experience and witness and to assist in whatever way possible to help bring humanity. I guess the image that shows up is like humanity on its knees. It's like, rise up. You're the universe in motion. You're so powerful. You have the ability to create the universe. You are creating it. Let's just start creating it in a more harmonious and beautiful way.
Powerful. I love this. Your work is just amazing to tap in, turn on the creator within all of us and the remembering, the awakening of, it is that inside job is what's co-creating in the hologram of what we're all presented daily. So I just applaud you and honor you for the depth and the mastery and truly like loving what you do to go forward and keep going to the next frequency and the next frequency. And I like that you said you're a little resistant to fully go into that heart channel and do that attune to vibrationally help each of us go in and clear the resonance of the fields of home and just in general. But can I challenge you to maybe step into that a little bit today? Do you want to do a little attunement for us wherever you feel our integration is needed?
Sure, absolutely. And I'm always up for a challenge. It's like out of those challenges, that's what takes you to the next level. That's what helps you. It's like the ever continual rungs in the ladder. There's always a new rung to emerge into. As long as the universe is expanding, it's going to be expanding through each and every one of us. So there's always a new level of expansion that we can move into, which is, you know, a continual, I guess, a continual process and a continual unfolding, kind of like the lotus flower. But yeah, I'd love,
Exactly.
I'd love to play something. That'd be great. Are you
Yeah,
up for
no,
it?
I
Okay.
I open it up to you. It's I
Okay.
can feel how vibrationally through our conversation high we are. So let's see what comes through you.
Awesome. So what showed up as you said that was to the word showed up of anchoring in a frequency that's going to continue to support us in our evolution, support us in our unfolding, support us in our healing, in our awakening, but also to support us in realizing and embodying just how powerful our light is. So powerful in its effects that, yeah, we can't see through the physical senses, but it's there. And it is extremely uplifting and filled with love and possibility. So that's a lot to shove into a little piece of music, but I'm going to go for it. Why
You
not,
can do
right?
it.
All right. So, with that being said, I always ask people to set the intention for themselves to unveil more of that divine masterpiece that's within and take some nice deep breaths, and we'll meet up on the other end of this. So, just breathe. Let me just make sure I got this set. I think I do. Okay. Just nice deep breaths. Within you is a beautiful divine spark. It's just so excited about the possibility of being reflected and shined into the world. Deep breath. And with the biggest, most beautiful intention, set the intention to shine your light. Take another deep inhale. Gently breathe in these notes. So just take a nice, deep, cleansing breath. Open mouth, let it go. And I always like to have people combine some sort of action on the physical level to embody the intention set. So take a step in the direction of what inspires you. Take a step in the direction of reflecting and shining your light more. Take a step into any action that brings up a little discomfort that perhaps maybe makes you go, oh man, take it on and look to see what opens up for you. You just might be amazed at what life will begin to reflect back to you as you move forward in this ever continual journey to shining your light and being true to that soul's calling within. So there you go.
Beautiful. That was very intelligent, actually. I was able to read all the frequencies in the coding of
Mm.
DNA. And I was watching how the frequencies were igniting the H3O2, the electrical structured organized waters in the body. So I was getting an activation of that because I know these fields so well. And then once it was really activating, I was reading the language of the frequencies, which it was it was really fascinating. I'll have to talk to you off this, but it consolidated the field, went into structure and organization, and then the spiral. Now I can really feel the field, the scalar field going through the body. So I
Ooh,
love it. That's
nice. That's
awesome.
juicy, man.
Right?
Yeah, I
Powerful,
like
Mark.
that.
So
Yeah,
I just
awesome.
super appreciate you, and I hope to have more conversations in, the months ahead. And, any last words to our audience, please let them know where to find you. But truly genius what you're bringing forth. So I'm just going to kind of pass it to you and let you end this.
Awesome. I love to tell people that, every one of us, each and every one of us, comes here with a song. That song, it's our passion, it's our calling, it's what's been etched upon our soul that is just looking to be expressed into the world in some way, shape, form, or another. And I just want to encourage everybody to be true to that calling within them. And if even if you are being true to it, ask the question, how can I amplify the signal? How can I bring it out to the next level and impact more lives and shine more light and restore harmony to my own experience while doing it the same for others? And to remember that who you are matters. Who you are matters. You're the universe in motion. Sometimes we forget that when we get caught up in the dramas of human life, so to speak, but never forget who you really are. Look up into the stars at night and realize that you're a same expression of that beautiful intelligence that set that into motion. That's you. That's like looking into a mirror. So, if you're looking for any help at all in tuning the strings of your life experience, I invite you. I have a little free gift, high vibration piece. It's called, you can find it at markromeromusic.com/gift, markromeromusic.com/gift. It's a musical piece. It's entitled The Journey, and it's about honoring the journey that you've been on into your own unfolding, into your own enlightenment, into your own realization of who and what you are. Breathe in those notes, and it'll definitely give you a nice vibrational shift and assist you as you move forward in being true to your light and to your mastery and to your music. So, thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah, thank you. And I'll link all Mark's information on the YouTube channel below. And yeah, it's just genius. You are that spark. And I love how you're co creating and leading the world in frequency of music, but really it's coming from your innate soul. So honor it. I love it, appreciate it. It's just so cool. And yeah, so thank you. And to all our audiences, we appreciate you and we'll catch you soon. Talk to you
Thank you.
later.
Take
Bye.
care.